Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I want to talk about the Super Retro-Cade from Retrobit, the newest version, version 1.1. So when the original version released, we covered the crap out of it, mostly about adding games to it. And with the version 1.1, we can add even more to it. There's more emulators, more system compatibility, pretty awesome stuff. So that's what I want to talk about today, because the version 1.1, there's some quality of life improvements, extra compatibility with controllers, all sorts of cool, neat things. And I figured, you know what? Let me try to get my hands on one of these. And finally I did. That way I can share this with you guys. So the big thing, if you're looking for a version 1.1 Super Retro-Cade, the back of the box, like you see here, it will list version 1.1. That's going to be important. Do you want to get the old version, version 1? I say no, get the version 1.1, because there's just so much extra cool stuff we can do with it. And this device, I mean, I was astonished how popular this thing was, but it's so easy to add games to it. So much fun playing with it. And to me, it's a great option. That's why I covered it very heavily, and I decided, you know what, let me check out this version 1.1. But keep an eye on that, because if you look locally, because even around me, there's some shops that sell this. Some like local game stores and stuff like that. Make sure it says version 1.1. If you buy online, make sure it's listed as a version 1.1, because I know there's still the original versions floating around out there. Retrobit, they're just producing the version 1.1, so I guess it's more likely you'll get one of those, but just still, you got to pay attention to that. So, like I said, there's going to be some changes with the system. There's going to be some games added, and there's actually of note one game removed. Cobra Command has been removed from this version for whatever reason, but hey, if we want it on there, we could add it back. They also added Act Fancer, Cybernetic Hyper Weapon, don't know what that game is, Armed Police Unit Gallop, Crude Buster, R-Type, and R-Type 2. The little asterisks for the game list here, it just means that they're the arcade versions. There's a lot of arcade games on here. You also get some of the console versions of some games as well. The system, we got Super Nintendo, NES, Famicom, Sega Genesis, Neo Geo, arcade stuff. There's a lot of compatibility, and with the new version, there's even more compatibility. We got TurboGrafx, PC Engine, Game Gear, and like I said, there's some quality of life improvements as well. So really a cool little device. If you've been on the fence on getting one, highly recommend the version 1.1. So definitely keep an eye on that notation on the box. Also, a lot of new controllers are compatible with it. Retrobit does have a bunch of listed ones that they've tested on their website. You could peep it out. It's a bunch of ones that they know work, and for the most part, they're the ones they sell. And they also have like a little comment section down here with people listing what other ones work. So I know there's even more compatibility now versus when I originally tested, because I tested on the first version. So this one, there's a lot more compatibility. But what we want to look at today is we're going to test out and see playing some TurboGrafx and some Sega Game Gear on this bad boy. So I showed how to do this before. Essentially, you just need an SD card. We're all using like 16 gigabyte SD cards. There's actually a lot of people in my Facebook group who've come up with little custom labels for them to have a different SD card for each system, because you could have thousands of games added to this thing. But what you're going to want to do, just real quick rundown, then we're going to test this out and check out the games, right? On the root of your SD card, you're going to want a folder named Retrobit Games, just like that. And then go in there and you're going to drag and drop your games. So we have I got Sega Game Gear and TurboGrafx right here. These packs that I'm looking at, we have the artwork and the games listed, so you can also have the artwork show up on the system, which is pretty damn cool. Let me just find one game to throw on there. Bonk's Adventure's always a good one. Why not? Throw it on there. And then we'll also throw on a Game Gear game. Let me see. Probably Sonic 2. Why not? Chuck Rock 2 is pretty fun too. Son of Chuck. I remember playing the crap out of that back in the day on an actual Game Gear. But let's find one. Joe Montana. Man, there's so many great Game Gear games. And I had a ton of them back then. Way back when. Come on, where's Sonic 2 at? Just want to get this on here and show you guys real quick. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. There we go. We'll take that one. Pop it on there. So we have both of those games and the artwork for them on our SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that SD card out of my computer. And on the back of my, I can't pick it up because it's all plugged in. I don't want to mess anything up. On the back of our unit, we do have an SD card slot that it just pops right into. There's a little spring action. So let me go ahead and switch over to the Super Retro-Cade. So once you boot up your Super Retro-Cade, you're greeted with a bunch of these games here. Pretty cool stuff. There's tons of awesome games. This was like, I believe, the first way to play Holy Diver officially licensed in the US. The NES version. Retrobit did release that on cartridge form, which is pretty sweet, but I remember playing it on here. Yeah, there we go, Holy Diver. So before we check out TurboGrafx and the Game Gear, I want to show you, there's some extra stuff here. I haven't messed with this system in a while, but if we go in the settings, which you just press select, just your basic stuff that we've already messed with. Audio, you can change the volume of the music that's playing in the background. You can change your controller inputs, your resolution settings, original size or full screen. So original is going to be to what the game was originally meant to look like. Controller inputs, you can change your controller buttons for every system, every game. Pretty cool stuff. And then in the advanced settings, we have some interesting stuff here. So language, obviously we got some options there. We're leaving it at English though. Why not? Video smoothing. This was something that a lot of people didn't like in the original version, but you can turn that off. So that's for console games, because a lot of the console games kind of had this smoothing effect over them. Now you can turn that off. Pretty sweet. I didn't even know that was available in this version 1.1, but there you go. Let's find a console version of a game. Or why not just jump in the Holy Diver real quick. So just booting that up. Now, no more smoothing. It's crisp looking, and I like that. I wonder if you can access that from here. No, you cannot. So let's put the smoothing on so you can see what this originally looked like on the version 1. So let's exit out. You saw how crisp that looked. Let's get back in there. Advanced settings, video smoothing. We'll turn that on. Get back into Holy Diver. And then bam, you can see it's got that little, it's like a blurriness to it. It didn't bother a lot of people, but it was very noticeable in the original version of this system. So great that we have this option to turn that off. And since I have it on, we gotta go ahead and get that back to being off. So video smoothing off, get it off. So back to what we really wanted to look at. That's pretty cool that we have those options. You can go into the game, change your buttons, do all that cool stuff. Turn the video smoothing off. That's an important one. Pop in our SD card, and it should prompt us. Do we want the local storage, which is what's on the device, the games that are on the device, or go to SD card and access the games that we put? So I wonder why I got the wrong logo there, but whatever. Bonk's Adventure, let's go ahead and boot that up and see how that looks. Oh my god, nice. Pretty good stuff. So I think this is a really sweet device. So I know I've said this before, but some people were like, just get a Raspberry Pi, and yeah, that's an awesome option, but so many people chose to grab this because the ease of use. No setup, like you're not messing with command prompts or anything like that. I mean, you really don't have to with RetroPie either, playing on a Raspberry Pi, but there is some setup involved in a device like that, and it's not overly complicated. It's not just, you plug and play and you're good to go unless, somebody hooks you up with a setup or whatever. But it's really not difficult, but a lot of people do prefer just the ease of use of this and the simplicity of adding these games and not having to scrape artwork, metadata, all that kind of stuff. It can be a little time consuming, messing with RetroPie. I really enjoy it, and so many other people do as well, but I do see the appeal of a system like this that just makes it so much easier. Sure, the compatibility is not going to be the same, but if you just want to play these awesome 8-bit and 16-bit games, it's definitely a good one. So let's check out Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I got to fix that artwork. Okay, well, we actually had the jump cut here. I had the wrong version of the game on there, so let's go ahead and try out Sonic 2 for the Game Gear now. So I did set the aspect ratio to original instead of full, which you can do that for every game. Just change it to original, and then it's whatever original aspect ratio instead of full screen. But here we go, crisp looking Sega Game Gear. Oh man, like this actually really reinvigorates my desire to mess with this device and to find out what else we can do with it. You know, the guys on my Facebook group, they're really, man, there's a really strong gathering of people who dig this device and have been supporting it from the get-go, and it's really fun. So I love these different options. I love options to play our retro games as long as it's not at games. At games, they tried putting out their version of this, or their take on a device like this with their Legends flashback, whatever the heck it is. And that thing, man, the games are missing sound. There's just a bunch of glitches and weird crap. It's like, dude, if you're gonna try, you need to try a little harder. But it is what it is. So I really do appreciate you guys stopping in. If you want more help with the Super Retro-Cade, checking things out, hit up my Facebook group. Link is in the description. There's a lot of cool people in that group. A lot of people who love this device in that group. We had a huge influx of members in that group just because of the Super Retro-Cade, so that was pretty damn cool. And it's still talked about to this day, guys. So check it out. Appreciate you guys spending this time with me. Hit that like button, smack around that notification bell, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!